So, have you ever experienced this?
Hey, you suck. Why you so weak, nerd?
You come here. You come.
No, no,
Come
no,
here.
no, no. Wait.
Yeah. So you got so angry that you lose your control and you just release the anger physically to that person. Well, I experienced that once and I would never lash out again, seeing the consequence that I have faced. Yeah, so I never had shared this story to anyone. Yeah, so you guys get the latest scoop on why I react a certain way. Yeah, so it all began during the time when I was in primary school or elementary for those who are in the States. I was a nerdy kid in class, still is, and people usually tease me a lot by with physical means. Yeah, I would say it's like bullying, but it's more childish like. Yeah, because like people sometimes will like smack me on my various part of my body, or it's like poking here, poking there, and so on. Yeah, just to get a reaction from me. Yeah, so I guess it does work as they just keep on doing it again and again. Yeah, I was actually quite annoyed, but I just did not want to respond as I was quite an awkward kid and I did not have a reference on what is right and what is wrong when come to this situation. Even if I told anybody, they would just say, "Hey, you're a man. It's either you fight back, or things will never change." Or something like, you're a guy, man. You better suck it up." Yeah, so I have a very supportive circle. All this teasing, I would just pass it off as them being mischievous, and I just continue endure it till I graduated and went to secondary school. And during that time, I thought things would get better. Well, it didn't. The frequency of teasing and smacking did not only reduce, but it possibly has increased during that time. Yeah, so during this point of time, I had witnessed people going into fights inside toilets and go to secluded areas to conduct some sort of fight that to settle their beef. And inside my head was like, possibly this could be my answer, as it seems like strength will actually garner support from the people and deters all bullies from actually trying to do anything funny. So it's like this idea has been like floating in my head all this time as the teasing keeps up and a surge of anger keeps building up, wanting to release. Yeah, so one day I couldn't take it anymore. I just snapped. I could only remember that I was sitting in a shuttle bus, making our way back, waiting for everybody to board the bus. Yeah, so while waiting, there was this first smack at the back of my head, and I turned. I couldn't see who it was, and but after a second smack, I just turned behind and then just yelled, "Stop it! Stop it!" That's all I could say, but it kept happening, and the guy literally behind me just kept on giggling while this smack on the head kept happening. And I was already at my tipping point. And mind you, I was in the National Cadet Corps, or in short, NCC, and I was in my army uniform. So after like the sixth, possibly the seventh time I saw it, and I took out the beret from my left pocket and turned behind and start beating the shit out of the guy senselessly. And because the beret has this metal part at the front, I make sure this part was the one that actually hit his head. And I was like, after like 10 hits or so, I just stopped, and tears was start to come out from me. It's like all that pent up tension that has been built up over the years has finally released. Vaguely remembered what happened back then, but all I could remember was his face was super red and flustered on what happened to him. And those people around me, they just told me, hey, hey, it wasn't him, it wasn't him, it wasn't him that do the smacking. But during that point of time, I didn't really care who it was. Yeah, but the good news is there wasn't any blood as far as I could remember. The teacher that was present during that time caught wind on of the situation and immediately rushed to the location and then just told us off to see her after school. Yeah, so while on the bus, I actually felt quite relieved, to be honest, and but I feel a bit of remorse that to the guy that I hit, because I I just like really can't take it, and I just happened that this guy was just literally behind me, so I just beat the shit out of him. And but the other part of me was like, yeah, I think just he deserved it because he was laughing at me and didn't try to stop for me. So I was kind of quite conflicted. I was reprimanded by my teacher soon after we reached school. Yeah, for what fortunately there was almost nobody in school, so things did not escalated very quickly. All I got to do was just apologize to that guy and just you can just leave home. It was quite a awkward walk home since me and that guy were walking relatively at the same path, as my house was along the way to the train station. Yeah, and then this friend of mine just came to me, was like, hey bro, my bad bro. Actually it was me lah, not him ah. Things already happened, and all I could remember was during that since that time I actually never talked to the guy anymore, nor he actually acknowledged me anymore. So I feel bad about it lah since then, and I also just decided to swear myself that I will never like resort to any physical harm to another human being by all means, because I just don't want to face the same situation again. It was completely absurd, man. It's like it was so ridiculous, but it was actually could it's quite avoidable if you ask me, if I just decided to just change seats. Yeah, so from then on I just decided to just walk away or just release the anger to any other non-living thing, be it a pillow, wall, mirror. And nowadays, like all this anger that I actually pent up usually will just quickly just fizzle away whenever I just suddenly I will just have this flashback of me like hitting that guy. Since the incident, actually I feel like it did wonders, as the teasing had just started to slow down significantly. And and like since then things turn for better, I guess. And nowadays I am known more for being the chatty guy, and it's very hard for me to get angry. And when I do, actually I will just cool off by like literally just walk right out away from the situation, so that I will not be overwhelmed with anger. I just want to end it off with, at the end of the day, people who like to bully or tease, people who are the kind that actually are looking for attention and reaction. Just as long you don't react, will get bored with you and then just move on to the next victim. But I also can't say the same for the people who actually does bullying, where the kind that actually steals your lunch money and stuff. That kind of thing, I believe the only way is to report the situation to a higher power. It's already like 2024, so people are actually taking mental health way more seriously compared to my time, because it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to cry. It does not make you weak, because you are a human being, not a robot, not a toy. That's all I want to say. I catch you all next time. Bye.